Thank you so much for returning to my channel. This is part 2 of the cleaning/organizing video. If you haven't seen part 1, I will make sure to link that in the description. Here, I'm just finishing organizing the bookshelf, and I'm putting things that I don't want to the side that will be donated later, and everything else that I am keeping, I'm putting in the shelves. It got hot, so I had to go change out of my overalls and into some comfortable shorts, and I had to get my hair down. It was hurting. Okay, so I am going to try and finish. My attempt at cleaning out this homeschool closet will come to a fail here in a little bit. Come on, Bridget. I'm wet. This bin here is things that I have purchased from either libraries or Homeschool Marketplace or just websites as well that I know I want to use in the future, but I'm not quite ready for. Yeah? Yes, I'm coming.
Playing. No, Mom.
Okay.
Why would you say no? Mom.
This is just going to have to be for another day at this point. I am finally all done with the cleaning and the organizing, and so I kind of wanted to show you what the homeschool room looks like now that it is all organized. So I'm going to go ahead and take you around. So the first thing that you see is the bookshelves. So pretty self-explanatory. We have all of the Laura Ingalls Wilder books up there. And then up here we have like the small whiteboard. And then we have the place value, and then all of our pencils, glue, scissors, crayons and colored pencils and all that are in a different location. But yeah, so here's the books. So these are all books that are going to be used for our reading program this year that are up to the reading level that my oldest is in. Those books down there are like a later on type of thing. Not necessarily like next year, but it's more of like in a few years, I'll be able to pull some of those books out to read. And then down there is like all of my future unit studies that I would like to do. So some of those books go along with those unit studies. So we have like ancient times there. And then we have right next to that, right there's the human body, and then children around the world. So those right there are just books for future unit studies that my children are just not quite ready for. And then right here we have all of the American Girl books that I have so far. And then just right over here is the Hardy Boy books. We have started reading those already. We read book 1 and 2. So we are going to continue that this upcoming year, reading those. I think American Girl, I think I probably won't get into that until possibly next year. I don't know. I might start the American Girl possibly in January. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. And then down here, I just have my who was, where is, who would win, like those types of books. I don't have that many, but yeah, they're just down there. And then here is just like some folder games there. And then down here, I have like my magnetic alphabets with my counting bears there, and then some preschool things in there. And then this is kind of the same thing. Oh, I see an American Girl book down there. Oops, I must have put that by accident. But kind of the same thing as this right here because there was no more room. These are books that we're not quite ready for, but I would like to read them in the future. This right here is all of my Spanish books. So these are all in Spanish here. And then this right here is like a, just like a for me thing. And then I have the pencil sharpener back here that I need to put batteries in. And then up here on this one is the Magic Treehouse series that I have so far. I don't have all of them. There's still plenty of room to add more, but yeah. So that's what's on this bookshelf right here. And then next to that is going to be the craft cart here. So I've got my laminator right there. I've got my paints and my foam, and then right under here is the painting canvases. I've got my printer right there with my printer paper. And then when you open this, I've got more of craft stuff in here that didn't fit in these drawers. But then down here, I have books that have already been read. So I'm not ready to quite donate them because I do still have a younger child that will eventually be reading all of these. But I didn't want them to get put back on the bookshelf over there. Because I didn't want him to just keep rereading the same books over. So I needed to put them somewhere where I knew that they were safe, but I also knew that these were the books that have already been read. Yeah, so that's what these are. And so here we just have all of our crafts. Here are like the papers. I've got markers right there, our dot markers. Got my eyes there, my googly eyes. And then we've got like the foam here, some paper plates, some more construction paper. Here we have all of like the stickers and things like that. Buttons are also in here. We have some of these magnetic. Basically, this right here is just like if you wanted to add on any other things to your craft. This is really the drawer that you would look in. This one, I have the popsicle sticks in here, and then I have the lights, and then I have this Halloween craft that I got at Joann's, I think, during when they were closing down. And so I'm going to go ahead and save it and do that for Halloween. And then down here, I just have these little foam noodles here. And that's the craft cart there. And then right next to that was these shelves. I finally got these shelves cleaned out. So the only thing that I have on them is this magnetic fraction game. I guess it's not really a game. It's a manipulative. My oldest son really loves that. I do have a video on this if you're interested. I will link it. But he really, really enjoys learning fractions with this. And so then, yeah, I went ahead and cleaned out everything else that was there. I did have to keep my micas. I've mentioned before that I do like to make my own wax melts and candles, and micas is how I add color to some of those things. So I did go ahead and keep those there. But I have this like little Ariel figurine, and then over here I have my Mickey figurine, and then next to my Mickey figurine is my Chippendale canvas here. We are a big Disney family. We love Disney, and so yeah, that's why that is there. And then right over here, you can kind of see I have my wax melt, but then I have my other wax melt right there. Next to that is a candle that I made, and then I have this Donald Duck. It's supposed to be a piggy bank, but it's missing like the bottom. So we just use it as like a decor piece in here. But then if I step back, you will see I have my book wall / fragrance oil samples. These are the fragrance oils that I use when I make candles or wax melts. I have so many of them that I actually had to start using these shelves. I kind of have my other wall of fragrance oils right here. These are all just samples. So whenever I want to sample a scent, instead of purchasing like a big bottle, I will purchase like a sample size of it. And then if I like it, then I will purchase a big bottle. There's some on here that I did not like. So some of them I just went ahead and kept here, but I haven't really gone through these. But yeah, so as you can tell, these are full. And my other shelves where the rest of my oils are all jam-packed as well. So I had to start putting some on here. And then next we have this little bookshelf. This little bookshelf is where I put all of the curriculum for the year. I had to do that because I had to get its own shelf because I kept putting the curriculum in here. And then eventually it would just get mixed in with the other stuff, and then I would have trouble finding it. And so finally, it's kind of like what a lot of people would say, like a morning basket, except this is not really a morning basket. This would be more of a curriculum basket, quote unquote. But yeah, so this is where I keep all of the curriculum that we do for the year. That way I know that if I need to get the language arts book out, it's going to be on this shelf and not somewhere else in the homeschool classroom. Same with like history. If I need to get the history book out, I know it's over here and not somewhere else in the homeschool classroom. So yeah, that's what that bookshelf is. It's strictly the year curriculum, whatever it is that we're working on. Next, we have the closet. Now, I started organizing the closet, and you may have seen that in a small clip. However, this closet is just such a mess right now that I gave up. I didn't want to deal with it, if I'm being completely honest. So I think I did like maybe one shelf, and then I just, like, I mean, you can tell, like, that is so disorganized. I think I did the bottom. Like, I think I went through the totes. I think that's honestly the only thing I did, is I went through the totes, these two, to see what I needed to pull out for this upcoming school year. But then other than that, I didn't do anything else. So this is still a mess. This will be for, like, another day, honestly. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And then right there is all of the curriculum that I've been buying, and there will be a video on that soon. So yeah, this is just where I've been putting the boxes, and that's why this door doesn't close, because that one of those boxes is actually in the way. But yeah, so be on the lookout for a curriculum unboxing for all of that. But yeah, so that's the closet. Next to the closet is a desk. I purchased this desk last year for my son. However, he was still too short for it. So I went back and I purchased this table. So he's still not tall enough for it. So right now I just use it for just like storing things. Right underneath it is our break basket. And then I have my binding machine there with the globe. And then right next to that is our game shelf. I did go through that, and I did get rid of some games that were missing pieces. And I also, apparently there was some games in here that we had doubles of. Some of the games that were on here over here before, we had another game of that up here. So we actually had doubles of like 2 games, which I didn't even realize. So yeah, this is our game. And then we have our whiteboard. And right above our whiteboard is our alphabet poster. I did take down our number posters. I'm actually going to be replacing these posters. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be necessarily replacing them, or if I'm just going to be adding more posters. But I do have some posters in a few carts that I do need to go ahead and purchase. But yeah, I haven't quite decided if I want to get rid of the posters or not. My oldest is kind of past having the alphabet, having the numbers, having the short vowels, long vowels up. Like, he's past that. He's already got that down to a T. But my youngest is just starting to learn all of that. So I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get rid of it just yet, or if I want to keep it and then just add more posters of more of what my oldest is working on right now. So next to that, right here, there's a door. That is my husband's office. But next to that, that is my Bible cart. So I've got all of my Bible pens, pencils, highlighters, all of that right at the top. On the bottom there, I have my papers that I use to take notes. And then right underneath that is I have some books that I'm currently reading. And so then I've got a few like craft things here that my youngest did and he wanted put up. And then, yeah, then I have my desk. I have my battery powered fan. This is actually, that mug is actually a candle that I made. I just need to like push that back. But yeah, so here's my desk. This is where I do all of my Bible studying, all of that. I've got some more Bible books in there and then some more notebooks. And then right up here is I have my wax melt basket. So this is the basket that I reach for when I need to refill my wax melts. And then here I've got just like an assortment of like random things in here. And then my phone's right up there. And then right underneath the basket, I have my spiral Bible. And then here I have, this shelf is on like videos that I need to make. And so that's why that's there. And then just right underneath that is some more Bible study things for me. So this is the shelf of videos that I still need to record. And then this shelf is just for me Bible studying. And so then next to that is the door to my utility. We used to have a cat door there. However, my Hazel girl got a little chunky and she knocked it down one day. So we just never put it back up. So that's why that's there. But I think I want to add a poster to this door. And then next to this door is our calendar. So I just purchased this like a month ago. My oldest is really, really struggling with understanding how a calendar works. So I purchased this in the hopes that this would help him understand it. Like, we have been struggling with calendar for 2 years. That is the only thing my oldest son, has not been able to pick up. Everything else he picked up fast. But the calendar, something about the calendar, I don't know. He just can't get it. But yeah, so this is the Cunningham Homeschool classroom here. I did forget to mention that I have that rug. I've had that rug for a while, and I actually do think I want to replace it soon. But yeah, so this is it. This is the Cunningham Homeschool classroom. It has now been deep cleaned, mopped, the whole shebang. And so, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have questions on anything, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I will definitely try to answer any questions that you have. I am thinking about replacing this rug with something else. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. But yeah. So, Cunningham Homeschool Classroom.